Antstream Arcade is not the first service to do cloud-based gaming. Companies have been working to sell people the ability to play a library of games virtually for about a decade. It's only been in the past few years, though, that the general infrastructure necessary to pull it all off successfully has been in place, and we're still very much in the early days of these kind of services. Xbox has had recent huge success, Google Stadia at least had a launch, GeForce Now is hot even if some game makers aren't thrilled about it, and even Nintendo has gotten into serving you a retro game from a remote server in real time with its Switch online service. Antstream Arcade has been slowly launching for a couple of years, but 2020 was a big year for them, and they underwent a big shift in business at almost the exact same time the new Atari VCS started to show up in backers' hands. I remember checking Antstream out over the summer when they were just expanding outside of the UK, and at that time the service was solid, but the library small. By the time the VCS shipped backers in late December, Antstream's library had grown by several thousand titles, both big and small. Antstream launched its free-to-play, ad-supported service just around the turn of the new year, after previously being subscription-only with a 30-day trial. And for VCS owners just starting to get their consoles, it meant issues redeeming your free 30 days, although that has since been resolved. VCS owners also get an exclusive library of Atari games, including some Atari 8-bit games that may be of particular interest to Atari fans. Just before going free, Antstream did something kinda crazy around Christmas when they had a couple of days where they just flat out gave everyone who signed up a year of service for free. I was able to jump on it, and I couldn't be happier that I did. I will say I've had to send in a ticket to their customer support, and it was fast and excellent. Antstream is nice on PC, but not necessarily ideal, since PCs have long had emulators and other ways to play these games. On the VCS, though, it expands the game library in a huge way and adds an important sense of community, too. It's also currently the best form of leaderboards on the VCS. Antstream service works great. At worst, I've had a few minor connection bumps, but barely enough to notice, and I've even watched Netflix and such while doing it. There's so much to play and investigate, it'll take months to get through it all. Additionally, Antstream works with a large number of controllers, along with a mouse and keyboard, both on the VCS and PC, including the VCS Classic and Modern controllers. You may want to consider adding a VCS keyboard too, because one of the things I found most exciting about Antstream is its collection of classic text adventure games from the Amiga, Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum, and other systems. Some people might ding Antstream for not having a ton of mainstream games, although it does actually have quite a few. But I actually think its deeper dive is one of its key selling points. I've discovered numerous games I'd never even heard of, and the experience takes me back to the days of getting a whole box of, let's be honest, pirated Apple IIe games and going through them. Playing the games is as easy as pushing a few buttons, no fiddling with emulators here, and you can even save your progress in one of 3 multiple slots for each game. I've got my Mortal Kombat here, along with the OG Space Invaders, Galaga, Pac-Man, Defender, Double Dragon, Gauntlet, Burger Time, Bubble Bobble, Bad Dudes, Rygar, Bump and Jump, Ninja Gaiden, and the list goes on and on. The library rocks, and it's continuing to grow. Sure, many of us have all this stuff on MAME, or could easily get it elsewhere, but this doesn't feel like running MAME at all, and instead feels more like you're in a virtual arcade with virtual friends. Antstream also offers challenges that utilize a currency system to enter and win prize pools. The challenges take a standard game and twist it. There's a Pac-Man with no power-ups, and Earth Defense Force with no shooting. It's fun. You also have nice control over your profile, and your profile carries over between PC, mobile, and the VCS. Antstream is based in the United Kingdom, and that shows in the somewhat European focus on the titles available. But if the servers are in the UK, I had no issues with ping, and not a single game suffered a disconnection during the time I used the service. It should be noted, even though the games are tiny in file size, running them through a cloud like this does take bandwidth. So especially if you live in a location where you have to be careful about data caps, this might not be for you. Is it worth $10 a month? Well, that depends a lot on how much you appreciate the catalog. If you like it like I do, heck yeah, it's worth the subscription for a few months at least. If you do decide to pay long term, you'd mostly be paying for ease of access, an excellent cross-platform profile and favorite game system, and to support these folks as they work to become a stable success. The service has been rock solid for me, and while it may not be necessary on PC because of emulators, it feels vital on the VCS, and I would be bloody chuffed if it went away. Thanks for watching. I'll be doing videos about other services, VCS hardware, and more in the coming weeks. If you're willing to subscribe to the channel, it helps a lot, and feel free to like and comment below. Have fun.